surrounding a funeral parlour. Malcolm Robertson went along.
Bill Baker's worked in the funeral business for 20 years. Preparing coffins normally takes place quietly and in private. Today, though, he and his colleagues were under scrutiny as Rackham's funeral directors of DIS held an open day. They know the kind of business that you're in. What's the kind of reaction of people you meet?
But most people are okay. There's one or two people who really don't want to know you anymore, but apart from that, most people accept.
Every aspect of a funeral director's work was available to the public. Organising a funeral is something that will probably face most of us at some time in our lives, potentially, of course, very distressing. But in opening its doors to the public, this funeral director hopes it'll provide a source of comfort and indeed insight into what happens after a loved one dies. Derek Leader is the manager at Rackham's, and he was encouraged by the response of those he showed round.
We hope we'll take some mystery out of the funeral industry and funeral business for people in the area. It's something that they won't see very often, but we're quite happy to show them around. If they don't come today, even, we'd like to show them around any other time as well. At an emotional time in people's lives, the funeral director is there to offer comfort and support and provide the right kind of send-off. The Reverend Paul Sinclair, a Pentecostal minister from Leicestershire, hopes he can oblige. He runs what he claims is Britain's first and only motorcycle hearse.
Number one group of people that would use this particular bike is people who used to have a bike after the war, or they were rockers, or they brought their children up in a sidecar. And their children are now coming in at the funeral directors and they say, oh, Mum had one of them, and they want to remember their mum on her last journey the way they did as children in their early journeys.
For those who visited the funeral parlour today, it might have been a difficult and painful journey. But those who work here want to make sure that we all go in the way we would choose to. Malcolm Robertson, Anglia News, DIS.